So again, I couldn't complete the previous video because it's regarding what happened in Iceland and how they initiated and triggered linkage to the underage girls and even younger children when it actually escalated. So during that time, when it initially started happening and when I actually started coming across any other person, I would get badgered to talk to any other girl. They would reveal, they're 17, 16 or something like that, even though some of them would look like they were older. So in October 2023, I decided to come back here voluntarily for the purpose of getting married because I was putting through gender mutilation or genital castration, and then I would get badgered to do those crazy things, essentially to get involved with some underage girl in a crazy incriminated manners. My perception about this country was because every now and then I would hear, oh, that got married at the age of 16, that got married at the age of 18, 17, 15, something like that. So I thought maybe there isn't any law here, there isn't anything like that. So to make it the right in a respectful way, I came back not necessarily to have somebody underaged, but in a right way. I came back. But since day one, I started putting through horrible and tormented, painful abuses, and I came back here, this home country. I don't know what to name it anymore. So at that time, I had a vague idea. These are the main, people from here. These are the main bastards. They are the planners. They are they did everything to the rest of the family members. What's happening around the close neighborhoods and close proximity? What's happening? Because I'm a kind of person, I would just mind my own business. I wouldn't pay attention to any other people. So this was one thing. Then I was able to go back to Britain in November, and then yes, after researching a little bit about it, I went to the Iceland to seek refuge or something because I would just believe what's available in the literature, what's available officially. But it went other way around. So on third day, I went to their immigration office. They said they haven't received my travel documents yet because it's still at the airport with the instigating officer or something like that. So I took my stuff and went to the Keflavik airport where I first landed, and I tried to connect with some immigration officer, but it was a little bit late at night, about midnight or something. So I couldn't connect anybody, but I saw one girl. She was in the uniform, the immigration officer's young girl, maybe early 20s or something, local Icelandic. And I just inquired her. I told her a little bit about my situation. It's my third day, and I'm not okay here. I have to leave from here. She said, my husband is from Afghanistan. He came like you here as a refugee, and now we got married. Like in direct manner, she was trying to tell me that you could get settled as well. But anyway, for the night, I stayed there to get that resolved, but that didn't happen. But then they, drove me back to the campsite. in the city in the city Reykjavik. But there was a time Afghan or Pashtun people. Why I mentioned that? Because there was a time Pashtun or Afghan people who had history of, pushing the targeted victim or myself to do something crazy stuff with underage girls or underage, people. I've explained well in other videos and in another, um, uh, the Dropbox link. Other than that, the main perpetrators were in Iceland were Polish people. I've explained in Dropbox link as well. They are like in my site. They are like sort of European version of shithole countries. Is they are gang stalkers. I got like targeted by their gang stalkers in several different locations. So that has other details. I'm not gonna divert. But their people were in the immigration office in the city center. So they were extending. They were stretching. So they could, in the camps or the provided accommodation, they would abuse me. Three group of people were mainly involved in there. First, these Polish, the second Afghans or Pashtuns, and the third Islamist of different ethnicity, which also included some uh, implanted black African people as well, perpetrators. So if they try to make you look like it's a norm, what you're doing, okay, nobody's asking you, and we are providing you a lot of, supply, and we are badgering you, we are giving you, the protocols, who you need to approach to in the shopping mall and in certain ways, but not at the right place. If I would go to the club, if I would go to the bar, try talking to adults, they would just, because they've been told already, oh, you don't need us. You go to the underage, under 18. Once I went to, this Latino dancing in Iceland. Uh, After I just spent there like, just went there for a little change for an hour or two or something. And after that, they started, this the cycle of abuse, another psychomotor for a few days. So this is how they do. They don't want you to do anything in a right way. Because they want to run their abuse. So yeah, another example is in Iceland. The same thing happened. I was somewhere in the city center, somewhere waiting for the two girls. They were standing there already, and they said, I asked them when the bus is coming, and they just said, I think probably they didn't respond. And then they left. I stayed there for another 15, 20 minutes. No, the bus didn't arrive. So I went to the nearby some fast food place to sit there because it was pretty, chilly wind and it was pretty cold in there. I went in there and there were two girls. Who were at the bus stop. They were still there. The girl, she looked at me and she started crying, like, screaming and something like that. I said, what happened? And then her mother and the two female officers, they came and while they were conversating, and then they revealed that she's underage and she was drunk or something. I said, okay, if I asked her when the bus is coming, that's a crime, and she's drinking, that's not a crime. Wow. But anyway, that's their business. But then they took me to the station for a few hours, and some officer, he was there. He just, I could tell from his expressions, we just need your few information, and then you get on with your business. Like, what you're doing here or what you are being badgered to do. So they all know their officials, their authorities, their immigration, they all know what they've been doing. So it's going to stop here now again, I think.